Ancient Rome, the greatest empire on earth. Massive temples scraping the sky, crowds filling the streets, gladiators fighting in roaring arenas, and soldiers marching through the city like they own the world. From the outside, Rome looks unstoppable. But behind all that gold, marble, and power, absolute terror. Because sitting on the imperial throne is a ruler so feared, so unpredictable, that even the richest men in Rome are scared to look him in the eye. This is the disturbing life of Rome's most hated emperor. And trust me, mate, it's darker than you think. Now, Rome had loads of brutal emperors. Seriously, the place was packed with power-hungry nutters. But whenever historians talk about cruelty, madness, and pure chaos, one name always rises above the rest: Caligula. Even now, 2,000 years later, his name still carries this weird sense of fear around it. But here's the mad bit. He wasn't born a monster. At first, Rome absolutely loved him. People celebrated when he became emperor. Crowds packed the streets cheering his name. After years of fear under the old ruler Tiberius, Romans thought this young bloke was finally going to save the empire. Fresh face, young blood, new beginning. For a little while, it actually worked. But before we get there, you need to understand where Caligula came from. Because this lad grew up surrounded by betrayal from the very start. He was born into one of the most powerful families in Rome. His father was a famous military hero, adored by soldiers across the empire.
Ancient writers describe Capri almost like a nightmare, a palace full of spies, fear, executions, and twisted games. Whether all the stories are true or not, one thing's certain: young Caligula grew up surrounded by absolute madness. But he survived. Quietly, carefully. He smiled when he needed to smile, agreed when he needed to agree, played the perfect loyal heir. Inside, though, something darker was building. Then finally, in 37 AD, Emperor Tiberius died, and Caligula became ruler of Rome. The city erupted. People celebrated for days. Some Romans genuinely believed a golden age had arrived. Prisoners were released, public games returned, the atmosphere completely changed overnight. For the first few months, Caligula looked brilliant. He handed out bonuses to soldiers, spent money on the public, hosted massive events, acted generous and charming. Rome adored him. Then suddenly, everything changed. A few months into his reign, Caligula became seriously ill. Historians still argue over what happened. Maybe poison, maybe a disease, maybe something mentally snapped inside him. But after recovering, he was different. Completely different. The friendly young emperor vanished. And what came back terrified Rome. Caligula became deeply paranoid. He started seeing enemies everywhere. Friends, senators, nobles. Nobody felt safe anymore. One